now with reaction. He is the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, and that is Jim Jordan. Well, if you look at the New York Post and our friend Charlie Gasparino, he said that the banks confirmed that this debanking did take place because of pressure from the Biden administration, banking regulators, and the Fed. So it either happened or it didn't happen.
Well, we know it's happened, Sean, because we've seen it before. I mean, banks they collect all kinds of information on their customers, and then they give the government access to that information. And we reported this in a report last Congress. After January 6, 2021, the FBI sends an email to Bank of America, says, we want all the credit card information, debit card purchases, credit card purchases of anyone who was in the Washington, D.C. area on January 5th, 6th, or 7th. And they asked for that information not without a warrant, which is not how it's supposed to be. So we know what the government does, and then they collect all this information from the banks, and we found in our investigation that 14,000 government employees back in the Biden administration searched that database 3 million times. Information the banks has, the government's going in there and finding out things about Americans that they're not supposed to, again, without a warrant. And that is not how it's supposed to work in our country. You want to search through your stuff, your viewers' stuff, my stuff, the people I represent. You want to go through our stuff. The government's supposed to go get a warrant from a separate and equal branch of government, not do what they were doing. And then all this leads to what you're talking about. Sometimes then they'll go, well, we're just going to debank these people after what the government's told us to do, what the government's asked for. We're just going to debank them. That's the process that frightens us all.
How do we prevent this from happening? And, for example, you know, an institution like the IRS, as powerful as they are, how do we prevent them from not targeting conservatives? You remember back in the day, we dealt with that issue and conservatives.
Yeah, it all starts with leadership. You got to have the right guy in the White House and a guy who understands, like President Trump. I mean, look at what he's done. He told businesses, he says, you need to start investing in America, and it's happening. We heard it today from Tim Cook and Apple. Then he said to universities, hey, knock off the nonsense, all the woke stuff, all the anti-Semitic baloney. That's changing. Now he's telling banks, you need to knock it off, too. You can't just use, for political reasons, get rid of customers. You can't just turn information over to the government when they ask for it without a warrant. You can't do that. So it's all about leadership, and we have that kind of leadership now in the White House, and maybe just as importantly at the Department of Justice with Pam Bodney, Todd Blanche, and Kash Patel.
Do you believe there, with this grand jury, and I only got about 20 seconds, do you believe with this grand jury there will be indictments?
Relative to what Tulsi's brought forward
yes.
on the Russia case, I think John Brennan is everything I can see. This guy changed the intelligence community assessment. It was at his prompting, and Clapper and these guys. So I do think there's something there. And God bless Tulsi, again, showing leadership, bringing this information forward, and then forwarding it on to, referring it to the Justice Department. So we'll see what Pam and Todd and the team there at the Justice Department do. But I do think there's problems, particularly with Mr. Brennan.
Brennan, what about Clapper and Comey? We'll find out. Jim Jordan, thank you.
Yeah, you bet, Sean. Thanks.
Yeah.